Hello, and welcome to More to the Story with Molly White. I'm very glad that you joined me again today to hear another great podcast. And before we get started in our show today, I just want to give a shout out to Dr. Stephen Hotze from the Hotze Health and Wellness Center is our sponsor. And without him, we would not be able to produce these shows. So we're very grateful to have his sponsorship. And we invite you to be a sponsor. You know, this show is all about educating people on the trauma of abortion, leading the lost to Christ, healing, bringing women and men who've been hurt by abortion to healing and recovery, and to save lives. To be a resource for women who are pregnant and need some help. So. Your sponsorship would help us do all of those things, and you would also get the benefit as a reward in heaven for that. So just reach out to us if you would like to be a sponsor. So I would like to introduce my wonderful, awesome co-host, Mary Browning. So come on in, Mary, and tell everybody hello.
Hello there. Hi, Molly. So good to be on this show. Thank you for letting me co-host with you. We do want to mention that we're going to be talking about the topic of abortion today, and we won't be going into detail. But if you find yourself having an emotional reaction to some of the conversation, that could just mean that you have some kind of pain, and the reaction could be a trigger that pain has been touched. If that happens, we would invite you to seek a deeper level of healing, and you can access healing through pregnancy help centers. Our guest today will have some ideas for you. You can also do it through operationoutcry.org and through calling the H3 helpline. So there will be resources and abortion recovery programs available in lots of different ways. Thank you, Molly.
Amen. Thank you, Mary. And I think this is the first time we've actually had a guest who works at a pregnancy resource center. In fact, this is Gloria Schreiber. She serves as the CEO of the Life Center of Long Island in New York. So we want to welcome Gloria to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Gloria, and thank you for being on. I'm sorry, I'm having dry mouth. So, Mary, would you continue?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Gloria, we are so glad to have you on this show. And we know that it looks like there's a lot of internet traffic today. So you or I or some of us may be a little bit blurry, but we just ask those watching or those listening to just hang with us. Gloria serves as CEO of the Life Center of Long Island in New York. She's done a lot of different things, and I'm going to let Gloria tell you about the kinds of things she's done at the Long Island Life Center, the Life Center of Long Island, and what it looks like to be part of a pregnancy help center, or directed, I guess, the CEO. Gloria, can you tell us about yourself and your activity there at the Life Center of Long Island?
Certainly. Well, I am truly grateful and humbled again and thank you very much for having me be part of this podcast. But in my past, and how I came to the pregnancy care movement, I've always been pro-life, always involved in many different ministries in my parish, in Hicksville, St. Ignatius Loyola Parish. But now being in the role of a CEO of a pregnancy care center, we have 4 centers, and I'll share the brief history with that shortly. But I'm truly amazed and blessed and not surprised at all how God was preparing me throughout my career, my corporate career, and now being the CEO of a pregnancy care center. It is without a doubt most humbling, most compassionate, and definitely seeing how we, being the hands and feet of Christ, every day when women walk through our door, and even men as well, how we're able to assist them through compassion and love. And I think definitely befitting here is the love approach that Heartbeat International has put into place for many years. We actually have the acronym posted at each of our telephones and at each of our computers, so that we never forget to provide that love and that compassion to anyone that we come in contact with, whether it be a client or a donor, a supporter, or even a local community organization that pops in and wants to know more about us because they heard from other people. But I've been at the Life Center now for 13 years. I was in corporate America as a retail district manager and a corporate trainer. And I just felt the calling to assist in the pregnancy care movement, using my skills and talents that God has given me to propel the mission forward. When I joined the Life Center, we had 3 pregnancy care centers. We now have 4. We've been on Long Island for over 38 years, and our historical records show that we've served over 72,200 women, and that does not include the men that also come to our centers. We do average about 200 women a month at this point right now, and throughout the 38 years, we've been able to save over 2,500 babies and their moms and dads from babies' lives, but also the anguish that abortion would bring. Our pregnancy care centers are strategically located here on Long Island, either directly across the street from Planned Parenthoods or 1 block away. So that's 4 of our centers. So our pregnancy care center.
That's that's a lot of Planned Parenthoods on Long Island.
There are more, but we have the main 4.
Wow. Go ahead, Mary.
Can you tell us exactly what services you offer at your pregnancy help centers, at the life centers?
Yes, the pregnancy care centers, and of course ours as well, we're basically safe havens for moms in unplanned pregnancies or even planned pregnancies. We have women that come to us for multiple reasons, whether it be, and not even just talking about our location across from Planned Parenthood, but if they do have an appointment at Planned Parenthood, our centers are known as Women First Pregnancy Options. And it's the word options and the word woman that really stand out and touch a soft spot with the women, and even the men in our communities, because even though they have an appointment across the street, they see the word women and options, and we want to put women first. That's why we name our centers Women First. And they actually come in before going to their appointment and inquiring about what do we offer. So of course, when that door opens, we have the opportunity to share with them the work of a pregnancy care center, which is basically being able to assist a woman throughout all points of the journey of her pregnancy, from identifying and confirming that she's pregnant to making sure she has a sonogram to ensure a viable pregnancy, discuss the different options available to her, whether it be parenting, unfortunately abortion, or placing the baby in loving arms in the selection process of a family through adoption, that she would love to have a relationship.
I just want to mention, Gloria, that sounds like true choice to me.
Yes.
That sounds like choice. She's given all of her options. So I just wanted to underscore that. Yeah. That's different than what we hear is offered in other places that are not pregnancy help centers. So I just wanted to underscore that, Gloria.
And I just want to throw in there that Planned Parenthood and abortion clinics and all the ones that I've been through, or other women that I've known have gone to, they only give you one choice, and that's abortion. They never talk about adoption. They never talk about parenting. They never give you time to even consider other things, So that's what pregnancy resource centers truly do.
We truly do. And it's really all about the truth and the education. I mean, once we have a woman or a man, the father of the baby, come into our center, we have male advocates that will speak with the fathers of the babies as well. But it really is educating them, equipping them with the resources available, and then empowering them to show them that they really can have their babies do very well and achieve their goals in life, but even beyond. It's been our observations that the women have come back to us and shared that where there was doubt, once they decided on life for their baby, that their life has been so blessed that it's been above and beyond what they ever thought it could be. So our centers really provide the education on resources available, anything from maternity housing where applicable, to helping them achieve their GED, college admissions, and who we can connect them with to help them enter into college, parenting skills, sexual and healthy relationships, fatherhood programs, prenatal, programs, etc. So there really is quite a bit of education that takes place at the center. And then in addition to that, just healthy pregnancies. We connect them, with actually pro-life doctors that want to assist pregnancy care centers and have the opportunity to share with women, God's blessing, teachings, etc. We've had many of our staff and volunteers actually become godparents to the babies that have been born, which is truly a humbling experience for us. And in my years so far, really as CEO, I obviously am very amazed at the responsibility and the role that I have, but because it's truly an awesome responsibility. And I don't, I work for our team. We have over 100 volunteers that are very loyal and dedicated, and aside from minimal staff in all the centers. So we're truly blessed to have our volunteers, because without them, we could not do what we do.
Amen. Amen.
And I just want to mention too, Gloria, so I'm looking at some material that you provided ahead of time, and it looks like you continue to provide resources to the parents or the parent that is raising the child for up to 2 years.
Yes.
That is incredible. So it truly is a help.
Yes, all of our services are free. We ensure that we provide, and one of the reasons why women feel that they are not in a position to have their baby is because they are not able to materially provide for the baby. So we share with them that really is kind of off the table, because we're able to help them with that through the age of the baby being 2 years of age. So we provide all the basic necessities such as clothing, diapers, wipes, formula, and then the other basics such as car seats, pack and plays, cribs, high chairs, strollers, and bassinets. The communities on Long Island really are very generous and very supportive. They really want to see women have their children. And they're always at a beck and call. If we have a need and we place it out there, whether it be through our social media or our monthly newsletter, the communities really rally around our centers and really provide those needs. So we're really truly blessed. When you think about it also, what comes sometimes into a council session is abuse, whether it be mental, physical, etc. And we have helped numerous women, unfortunately, in this situation, but fortunately have the resources available to get them removed from that situation into safe havens, safe housing, and therefore be able to continue, serving them while they're there.
Gloria, could you describe to our listeners what it looks like for a person to come in that's to your center that's being pressured or abused or in any way? Can you just let our listeners know what is that like when your people are working with them?
Certainly. We receive people who obviously have appointments with us, or those that will just walk in, and we make sure that we take all walk-in clients because we never know. And most of the time they are abortion vulnerable women. We've even had men come in that are concerned that their wives or girlfriends are considering abortion and want to know what we have to offer. And that's where our male advocates will come in as well for the men. And if the male advocates are not available, then our female advocates will help them in as well. But once we bring them into the center, we're actually filling out some intake form information so we can get to know them much better. But we also inquire what their purpose for the visit is, of course, and what we have available as far as resources to assist them no matter what. The wonderful thing about a pregnancy care center, too, is that if we don't have a resource, we have the opportunity to search one out and with due diligence, make sure that we have the best resources available. With all the cases that walk in, each one is dynamic and each one is unique. So we're learning, even with the current climate right now in the current environment, there are some challenges. And through working with resources within the community and unifying with other organizations, we have been able not to provide what our women in order to be served. So, and even after the baby is born, we are able to provide up to 2 years of age, as I said, the material aid. And on average, we distribute over $850,000 of material aid each year. So you can imagine the dynamics of receiving those donations, going through them, making sure everything is standard level to what we expect. And we have volunteers that will actually double clean the material as well, the material aid, ensuring that it meets or exceeds our expectations before giving it to the clients.
Would that be in the form of clothes or shoes, or what are we talking about that,
Yes,
those
the
donated
clothing,
items? Okay.
sure,
Yeah,
the
whatever items.
clothing,
Yeah.
the car seats. Yeah. Hmm.
Okay.
And so I wanted to add that I know our local resource pregnancy resource center, they even will provide transportation to their doctor appointments and assist that way. And then some of our centers, does yours have ultrasound machines? You know, can you perform an ultrasound and do those kind of things?
Right. We do not.
That's where
We
you
are not a
work.
medical facility right now. Actually, yes, actually, years ago, we were so ahead of the time. We actually had a sonogram machine in our center. Oh gosh, it's more than 20, 25 years ago. It's very difficult in New York to find a doctor that can commit to the time needed in order to work with pregnancy care centers to provide follow-up on sonograms, et cetera. So we actually have a relationship with Catholic Health where we're able to send our women for free sonograms, specifically because they are abortion vulnerable, et cetera. And what's wonderful is that once we are able to speak with the women about considering having a sonogram, we've gotten her to that 50% mark. And then once we refer them to the sonogram at Catholic Health, and we have the doctor actually follow up on the sonogram and discuss with the client prenatal care, et cetera, 9 times out of 10, it ends up being a baby save, which is wonderful. So it's a complete cycle that the woman goes through where they're with us first, then they go to the doctor, of course, and he completes the cycle with the medical pro-life message that has been successful for us as time goes on.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, and I know one of our centers, and I'm sure many of them do, also offer like parenting classes and help mothers and dads, you know, prepare for their babies. Do y'all do something like that as well?
Yes, and there also is a wonderful program that we've been involved with for, it's going to be 2 years now. It's called Hope Sync, which is through the Heritage House and affiliated with Harpy. We actually have the ability to send parenting information also via text or via email if the client, whichever they prefer, so that there's a continuum of education outside the center. So we ask permission from the client if we're able to provide information via text or email. Most of the clients say yes, which is wonderful. So we're able to pick and choose from the library that's throughout the Hope Sync program, parenting classes, prenatal, et cetera, that we can send to them. And we actually can see if they've opened and read the information. So we'll know how to follow up with them if they have and if they haven't. So it's a tremendous resource that we've tied into in addition to our parenting classes.
Awesome. Well, I know Mary had asked a question earlier, and I kind of want to follow up on that about how do you provide help and resources for someone who's either called, come in, and they're feeling forced, pressured, or coerced into having an unwanted abortion? What kind of resources do you have for them?
Yes, well, I have to say, thank goodness for the Justice Foundation because the CAFA letters, we actually have been using them, oh my gosh, throughout the years. We had a case in point in one of our centers where there was a 16-year-old young lady who was being coerced by her mother, who stated that she wasn't going to tell her daughter when or where, but she was going to just put her in the car one morning and take her for an abortion. And the 16-year-old definitely did not believe in abortion. She wanted to have that baby. So we were so fortunate and have always been fortunate when we reach out to the Justice Foundation and we state the situation. They have been able to provide a pro bono lawyer, local lawyer, that will meet with our client and did meet with our client in our center. It was probably for about a month's period of time. But the first 2 weeks wound up being how to get her through not going through with the abortion. So the pro-life lawyer met with the client with our counselor and our staff person at one of the centers and spoke with her about all of her rights, and that even though abortion is legal, coercion, undue pressure, et cetera, to have an abortion is illegal. Even told her that there is a means of her having a quarter of protection against her parents. That situation, the client did not want to, have that be part of her plan. But she wound up having contact. We explained to her about the CAFA letters, the Dear Client letter and the Dear Parent letter. We
I want to
presented
back
her
up.
with.
I want to back up. Gloria, can we pause there for just a minute? Because I think you've used that phrase CAFA a couple of times. Can you just describe for our listeners what that stands for?
Sure, the
Or,
Center Against Forced Abortion.
yes,
And that
okay. And that
project of the Justice Foundation. And
Correct.
I was going to ask Mary real quick if she would tell our listeners what type of letters and help does CAFA provide real quick. And then we want you to continue your story, Gloria.
Sure.
Mhm.
there are a variety of letters, and you can access them through through the Justice Foundation, and go to CAFA on the Justice Foundation, and there will be different letters there. There's a Dear Father letter, a Dear Parent letter. There's different kinds of letters. Gloria
School
might be more
counselor.
familiar with the exact ones,
There's
but
school
I do.
counselor, and then there's one for the abortion provider as well.
Abortions. Okay.
Mhm.
So, and I think Gloria even helped compile the Dear Counselor letter. So I would love to hear
Oh yeah.
more about your perspective of those and how they can be helpful to the pregnancy help centers. Gloria?
Yes, definitely. With the case that we had at hand, we provided the client with the Dear Parent letter, and then also with the Dear Abortion Facility letter. And we told her to keep it in her shoe in case her mom was going to go through her handbag or, look for anything before she went into the abortion facility. So our counselor and staff received a phone call on a Saturday morning at 8:30 in the morning, and stating that her mom put her in the car and was taking her to Planned Parenthood to have the abortion. With that, our staff knew to contact the pro bono lawyer and the local police that met them at the Planned Parenthood. And the police asked our staff and counselor to just step aside a couple of feet and let the mother and the daughter enter the facility. And they did see the mother and the daughter enter the facility. The police went in probably in about 3 minutes after the mother and the daughter went in. And about 5 minutes later, they came out, and the daughter had a big smile on her face and she gave a thumbs up because the letter to the abortion facility indicated that she was there against her will, and that she was not, she did not want to have an abortion. So legally, they are not able to continue with the purpose of that visit. So that we use that example rather often, especially in speaking engagements, et cetera, to show how just in unifying with other organizations that have the means to help us in the work that we do is so critical. And that was a perfect example of what transpired. In hindsight, the mother of the daughter had a 3-year-old son, and apparently the father of the son was different than the father of the 16-year-old. And it came to be that the mother eventually came to us for help for her son. So it wound up being a full family affair, which was a beautiful thing to see. As far as trying to take this a bit further, being in New York, it's and I'm sure in many states, it's very difficult to get into certain schools, et cetera, to try and to try and share information about the work of a pregnancy care center. Planned Parenthood definitely has infiltrated the schools here, and we have found it difficult in order to get our foot in the door unless we know somebody who knows somebody. And even that's been difficult. So we took this opportunity with the Dear High School Counselor letter that the Justice Foundation created. And we actually are in the process, because the school year has begun, with sending a cover letter, not only explaining what we do, but also the cover letter is also supported by Heartbeat International and the Justice Foundation, who created the letter. That gave us the opportunity to have more credibility and integrity going into the schools because of their support in that cover letter. That we're sending it to all the schools on Long Island, with the emphasis that we are there as a resource for them, the work that we do, and that we are inviting them to come to a pregnancy care center to learn about, to visually see what we do and to learn about what we do. So hopefully the student that might go to them in an unplanned pregnancy, that the high school counselor will remember us and will, call upon us to try and help in that situation. So we've been thrilled that the letter is actually out there. We're in the middle of mailing it to the schools right now in hopes that, and we'll be following up actually with follow-up phone calls to ensure that they receive the letter so that we can stress the importance of us meeting with them.
That's wonderful. And in these letters, what did they kind of say? Like for example, the school counselor letters, what would it say?
Sure. It basically introduces the fact that they may be involved in a situation where they come in contact with a young lady or a young man, the young lady who discovers that she's pregnant and unsure about what to do, or the young man whose girlfriend has shared with him that she's become pregnant and he wants to know how to help or how to support or what his rights are. So it introduces that, and then it goes into the work of introducing the pregnancy care center locally so that they have someone that they can reach out to for more information and hopefully want to have that tour and learn more about what we're capable of helping them with.
Awesome. Awesome.
So it's, I'm sorry, Molly, you go
No, I
ahead.
was going to say, if you had anything, Mary.
So that letter sounds like a tool, almost a bridging of the gap between the pregnancy help center and the school system.
Right,
So, okay,
exactly.
that's good.
Yes,
Where the
exactly.
school counselor might be coming into contact with those dealing with the unplanned pregnancies. And then you're saying that we have resources, we can help. That's
Right,
that's
exactly.
beautiful. I love that.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
kind
and
of like
go
there's
ahead.
there's the letter right there that our producer put up there. But these letters serve as more to the story in these schools, because if Planned Parenthood are in these schools already, they're only giving them one option, and that's either abortion or, of course, birth control. So these letters introduce these counselors and teachers that there are other resources out there to help young pregnant, girls and the fathers of these babies. So there's on the screen the copy of the web page of the Centers Against Forced Abortion. It has the different types of letters there that are available in English and in Spanish. And so we're real excited, Gloria. So, from what I understand, are you the first center to start distributing these to the schools? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes,
Awesome.
correct. The other thing too is that the Justice Foundation actually conducted a training class. I had called upon them once I had seen that they added 2 additional letters, and one of them was for the high school counselors and also for police. And I'm fortunate that the Life Center has one of our center directors is certified as a high school counselor. So I actually involved her as well with you having been a high school counselor, how would you receive this letter? Would you embrace it? What wording do you think should be changed? So she was very helpful as well. But the Justice Foundation provided the training to my staff, to our staff. And in addition, once I saw how that training went, I actually made our pregnancy service network aware of the training, and we had it actually conducted for the pregnancy service network here in New York, which consists of pregnancy care centers, additionally on Long Island, in Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, and New York City as well. And that went very well. And I must say that, once you go through the training and once, and it's very well done, very well done. Once you go through the training, you really gain a confidence in utilizing the letters. And once you have that one case where you put the letters in a client's hands and you see the results, it really gives you even greater confidence in wanting to reach out to the community and to the schools and really make them aware of what's available to them, because they're not aware. They're definitely not aware. And we hear that all the time from the young ladies that come to us, that they're not educated, they're not informed, they only hear it from one side, and they just love knowing that there's another side to the story.
Yes. Amen. Well, thank you so
You know,
much.
this is kind of a different angle, but Gloria, as you've been speaking, it's brought to mind for me that we have a number of states in this voting cycle that have abortion on the ballot to put it in the Constitution. And one of the common threads in a number of the language in those petitions and those ballot initiatives is that there could be no recourse against anyone, like the abortionist. So I'm thinking the idea that an abortionist wouldn't pause before performing a forced or coerced abortion is coming to mind for me, that that's a potential outcome that probably voters are unaware of
Oh,
in the ballot initiatives in the different states. So I just thank you for this wealth of information, and I thank you for your service to children and their parents in the community.
yes.
And
And that's,
it's just beautiful.
and it is beautiful, and we appreciate you, because I think you are the first resource center director or CEO that we've had on the podcast, and it's very informational, and that's what we want for our viewers, is that we need to educate you, and you need to educate all others as well, and even high schoolers and middle school students, that there are other options, that these pregnancy resource centers are there to give you other options. They're there to educate you. They're there to provide the things that you need in order to carry this pregnancy to term, and to take care of you. So, we really appreciate that, Gloria. And I do want to just reiterate two things. It is against the law to be forced, pressured, or coerced into having an unwanted abortion. What does that look like? Someone say, well, if you don't have this abortion, like a parent, you can't live here anymore. We're going to kick you out. Maybe a coach saying, well, if you don't have an abortion, you're not going to play sports anymore, or you're not going to get a scholarship. There's all kinds of things that others can do to try to influence your decision to have an abortion, and that's against the law. So we just want you to be informed of that. If you are feeling that right now, go to the Centers Against Forced Abortion at thejusticefoundation.org/CAFA. That's the initials, and get those resources, or even call the Justice Foundation. They will help you personally. And like Gloria was saying, they will even provide a pro bono attorney to help you uh, work through this pressure situation. So we just want to encourage all of our viewers to take advantage of that information and those resources that are available. And thank you, Gloria, for coming on and giving us what it looks like to go into a pregnancy resource center. I wish they were around when I was pregnant way back long time ago, and all I needed was someone like you in your center, and I would have made a better decision with my pregnancy. And so we encourage everyone to not only visit a center and check them out, but support them in your community. Donate the diapers, the formula, the maternity clothes, the baby clothes, because it really goes to a very good cause. So
Yes.
thank you, Gloria. Thank you, Mary. We're out of time. Thank
Thank
you all
you.
for joining us on More to the Story with Molly White, and we will see you again next time. God bless you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.